Hello, everybody.
Just keep
Hello.
washing the hands, carrying on, corona.
Yes, it's
Well,
still upon us.
Also, not masked. Great bit. Hello, everybody. I'm about to say Happy New Year then, but it's already been a week.
Yeah,
what a week it's been.
What a week to be alive.
First week back it's been, eh? Like, back at it again. 2021, the year everything gets better. Okay.
I mean,
So we had what do we have this week? We had the far right nut jobs attacking the U.S. Capitol.
yep.
We had in good news a purge of conservative, not just conservative. I mean, I would purge all conservatives anyway, but like all far right like Twitter accounts, super
that was a good day.
shit. What else has happened? There was a rumor that Dr. Dre was like in hospital or something, right? Or it wasn't even a rumor. I think he was.
Yeah. I think he had, I want to say brain aneurysm, something like that.
Alexei Leho died.
Yeah.
Like, didn't someone else die this week? I don't know. It's great start to the year.
Yeah, it's
carrying on as it meant to, just keeps on going. Just this welcome to hell. But we're here to give you a little break from hell.
Yeah, even though we also reside in hell.
Yeah, we also reside in hell. We're here to give you a little break from hell, little chat.
Just keep going, washing the hands.
I'll stop.
You just keep washing your hands, right? That's the episode for the week. I'll see you next week. Just wash your hands.
I think it was in one of the group chats I'm in with some of my more international friends, and they were talking about like how one of my friends recently went back to Canada to see their mother, and then they got trapped there because of like the new strains of Corona and stuff. Like the
Corona's strain.
Corona's new album has too many features.
Really
Don't
does.
like it. Yeah.
No, like you can easily get stuck somewhere if you travel at this point.
Yeah.
Like 100%. You can just get stuck like quarantining there for the longest time. Especially if you're trying to come back to our hell island. Like there's no way you're getting back to our island. Like everyone should just block us off from the world, and not just in this case, just in general. Let us suffer, let us rot.
Jeez.
Except me, send me out there.
Leave everyone behind. Not even your mom and dad, just you.
Just send me out. I'll take the point for everyone. Send me to Norway or something. I want to go to Norway.
Yeah.
But nice. Here we are. We're back at it again. How was your week, mate? How was your first week of work?
It was good. For anyone who doesn't know by now, I started a job at the Irregular Corporation, and I'm having just a whale of a time.
It's lit.
To work. First week was promising. Everyone I talked to is real friendly, real helpful. Haven't quite developed an arch nemesis yet, which I seem to have at every workplace. Not in the terms of like actually hate them. My previous job,
it was like a banter way or something.
It was
like
our colleague and good friend Luke Stead, who smells. So
he does smell. He does.
But
vouch.
Not much happened this week for me. Outside of that, just sort of concentrating on that. We played a lot of D&D this week because
oh hell yeah!
Played in my partner's game in a longer running game run by one of my friends, Mike. Shout out to Mike. I played that yesterday. I'm going to be doing more of that tomorrow evening. Just getting stuck into D&D, having fun. But outside of that, I think more important things are happening in the world. As you touched on. Some far right nut jobs decided to attack the Capitol building.
So before we do that, let's talk about our local far left nut job, me. No, I've also had a very quiet first week. Like it's one of those where I'm always like, all right, back to work tomorrow. And then as soon as you get back, it's like nobody's really here yet, and we're all sort of just easing back into stuff. So it doesn't really matter. Like we're kind of like it's just casual anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's kind of nice to be back into routine, back into just getting stuff done. Like I've actually big good news on my side. Not even banter good news this time. Actual good news. I've been on these like meal replacement shakes and that this week.
Okay.
and I've been like just cutting down generally. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like taking a couple of those a day, and then having like a big meal.
yeah.
And just sort of like cutting down. I've lost weight already, mate.
Jeez.
Things are fitting are much nicer. Some things are fitting like actually by thing which nicer I mean actually fitting.
Yeah.
Like they actually do fit me. I can zip up jackets and stuff. So that's good. That's an upward trend for me. Just need to not fall back into the, you know, um,
To be there.
realizing that everything is hell and there's no point in ordering food.
Well, something similar is happening in our household. So what we've been doing is not in an unhealthy way, but we started counting calories and just vaguely sticking to the guidelines that would help us lose weight. And what we started doing is rather than the meal replacement shakes, what we've been doing
Mm.
instead is at 12 o'clock every day we make just wraps that are just full of good shit. They're only like 230 calories. So what ours have in, they've got two different types of meat, whatever you choose. Like I think Laura's going to try some with chicken in, but this week it was like ham and salami, red onions, some sweet corn,
It sounds pretty tasty to be
red
fair though.
peppers, all kinds of stuff, and barbecue sauce inside of it. And
Red
it's just
peppers and green tomatoes.
no green peppers. I mean, um, and yeah, it's just full of stuff like lettuce, melted cheese as well, which is surprisingly doesn't increase the calorie count too much. And then we've got one of those sandwich toasters, so we whap them in there. And yeah, it's just one of those every day.
Oh, lovely.
It's incredibly filling for something that's 230 something calories. So
Yeah,
that
that's the thing. Like these are like these
yeah,
shake things. Just it was one of those things where I thought like originally I was thinking, is this going to be like good? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this going to
yeah.
be tasty? Is the first thing because I don't know. I've had like protein shakes in the past that have been really sort of just
We tried that
diet.
Huel stuff, and it, in our opinion, didn't taste good at all. But like previously, I had done protein shakes, but I usually get the ones that are like chocolate or strawberry, so like they're bearable. But
Yeah,
the
this is the
Huel
thing
stuff
about
was
this.
like really weird and oaty and made me want to vom.
So like we had what do you call it? Like we have two flavors. I have a chocolate one now. We had like a banoffee one last,
Yeah,
but they're only like 200 calories.
yeah,
And they taste good. Like even with water, I think that's the main thing. Like when it
yes,
comes to protein shakes, I was always just like, I was always just using milk because like,
yeah,
it
yeah,
only tastes good with milk. Whereas these taste all right with water, so I don't mind doing it. I've gotten to the point now, um, that I've like done like I've done it for a few days now, and it's just
yeah.
normal to me. Like I'm
Starting
not
to
bothered.
form
I
a
will
habit.
just yeah, exactly. Like I will just like say I'll get up and I won't be like, oh, I wish I could have a bacon butty. I'll just take my shake. I'm good.
Yeah,
And it's working because we have like the big meal at night, so just to sort of like
mhm.
balance it out a bit, like actually have some proper food at dinner and then have
Yeah,
this in the day. But it's going all right so far. It's going all right. I will say I do miss like just chowing down. But it's a good job that I'm not living alone because
yes,
when I'm living alone, it's so easy to just be like, fuck this, I'm ordering something.
yeah,
Like whatever, I'm just gonna order KFC for 5 nights in a row because the world's a mess.
absolutely.
Speaking of the world being a mess,
Yeah,
first topic of the day. Obviously, we like to keep things a little bit light here,
yeah.
but um,
Trumpeto's
not
banned from
not
Twitter.
today. Yeah, not today. We're going well, not for the first topic. We have to cover it. It's big news.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they finally banned the Donald from Twitter.com.
yeah,
Only took them 4 years of
yeah,
things building up for them to actually do something about it.
yeah.
Which is why I don't like the fact that people are like, oh, great job, Twitter, like
Yes,
great job,
absolutely.
like Facebook or whatever. Like they're responsible as well. Like
Yeah.
especially Facebook. Facebook is super responsible for letting all this
Mm-hmm.
like far right nonsense keep going.
To hope
Like
for QAnon shite.
yeah, they let that shit spread for ages. Um, but yeah, I mean, either way, it is a good thing. I've noticed now that there's a lot of conservatives and like weird centrists complaining, like, "Oh, just think what they could do to you, though. They could silence your free speech. Like they already do. Like, don't worry. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, people already do get banned for like making crude jokes and stuff like
The
that. Like
amount of sheer cognitive dissonance you need to have to compare somebody silencing the average Joe to someone who can start a war with another country and was close to doing
Yeah,
that several times.
exactly. Like like in a way, I understand when people are like, saying, "Oh, but they can like imagine this sets a precedent." Well, like the thing is, it's not setting a precedent against you.
Yeah.
It's setting a precedent that this is not acceptable behavior in general.
Mhm.
Like if these people are inciting this kind of shit and also spreading misinformation to a degree that's like not even like just a little like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. It's like, no, you're spreading misinformation that's hurting people.
Yeah.
um Absolutely take care of it, get rid of it. I don't know why it took this long. I'm sad that it took an actual like violent event to cause
Absolutely.
them to do
Yeah.
something about it. Like but I'm just glad. I mean, I'm glad that it has happened though, because um like deplatforming in general, I know some people are a little bit like weird about it. Like some people are saying like, oh, you shouldn't deplatform people or go for their sponsors and shit. No, fuck that. Like if you're posting some garbage shit, like yeah, absolutely
Yep.
get rid of your sponsors. You shouldn't be making money off this. This is why like there's so many right-wing grifters on like YouTube and stuff
Yeah.
who probably don't even care that much about what they're talking about, but that's just their
Absolutely.
shtick. Like that's just their shtick to go on and say, "Hey, all this that they're telling you, fake, fake, lies, lies." Like just so that they can make their money. So yeah, I think it's a good move. To be honest with you, because I I really just hope it's not like just a performative thing. I hope if these things pop up again and people start like saying weird, like very far right rhetoric, they start getting rid of it. I don't know what's going on. What's going on with my voice?
I don't know.
I'm aging over time. The CIA have got me.
Hello,
This
welcome to the
time before.
podcast.
But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm glad that they did take it away. The funniest part about it, like obviously the whole thing's funny.
Yeah,
The whole
absolutely.
banning thing's funny. Not the actual like events that happened. That's not funny. But the
Yeah.
the banning shit is funny as fuck because he was so mad that he started going on every alternate account that he had access to and getting banned immediately, and it was the funniest shit. It was
Jesus. I
so
didn't see
funny.
that part. I just
Oh really? Oh no. Because so they banned like the real Donald Trump account, right? Like
yeah,
his main. They banned his main. Okay.
yeah,
And then it was almost like back in the day when you were on like an online web forum, like you and the boys are chatting on the forum back in the day. Someone gets banned and they keep coming back making new
yeah,
accounts.
yeah,
It was exactly like that because like someone said, I think I saw someone tweet something saying like, yeah, they've banned this, but technically he does still have like at president of the USA or whatever and stuff
yeah,
like that, right? um and then Twitter made a post saying like, if those accounts, he can still use those accounts, but if those accounts post similar rhetoric,
yeah,
like they'll get rid of them too. So immediately he goes onto the POTUS account and starts posting like Twitter is trying to silence me and big tech and all this shit. They know it was stolen and all this and whatever.
yeah,
So they banned that. Then they banned, I think he tried to do it on the Team Trump account. And then the funniest one is like the Team Trump marketing manager or something.
yeah,
Like was his name at like Gregory something or other.
yeah.
He got him to change his Twitter name to Donald Trump and tried to post from there.
Jesus.
Like the man is so like he's so desperate for his Twitter. Like I think that's the best thing for me is you can tell how fucking fuming he must have been because he made that video that he definitely didn't want to make,
Yeah,
where he was like, "Oh, everybody calm down. Like we'll have a transition of power and I don't believe in it. I don't think it's fair, but we will." Like that
yeah,
little. I presume you saw the video.
yeah, yeah. I saw that.
Like proper, like just soft boy move, like that he's never done.
Yeah,
Like he definitely made that just so he could be like, okay, let me have my Twitter. Like let me have my Twitter
yeah.
back. And then they were just like, nope, like you are having nothing. And it's funny as hell. It's real fucking funny.
Do you think he'll stay off everything, or do you think once he's no longer the president, he'll sort of come back
Um,
on?
Well, so what? What I presume will happen, because as far as I'm aware, he's banned from the website in general, like indefinitely,
Yeah,
not just like by being president. I think it's just in general.
Good.
I think like they're even more likely to take action against his accounts when he's not in a position of office, right?
Yeah.
But he posted something, and I think this is probably what's going to happen is that they're gonna try and make their own like probably news network or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like I mean that was always the play for him as soon as he lost. I think was to create one of these like OAN style news networks, like Trump News Network or some shit like that. But that's gonna be down to like what it's gonna be down to at this point to stop this kind of shit is gonna be the people that run the services and stuff like that, right? Like you can't stop him being on television. Like that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Like no one can stop that. He's got the money for it. But I think I don't know if you've seen the far right app Parler also has been banned, which is fantastic news because that is a cesspit. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
aware.
like Parler is like it's like where all the conservatives from Twitter went because they couldn't be Nazis on the timeline. Basically, to sum it up. And so Parler is basically just like it's Nazi Twitter. This is where they all go to like post stuff because their whole selling point is we have no moderation, basically, like free speech. Woo.
Didn't they get like turbo hacked the other day?
Well, something I think that was I think they did a while ago, right? But then something happened, obviously after this stuff. And I think Apple removed them from the store, and
Yeah.
Google did, saying if you don't instate a moderation policy, like your app won't exist on the store.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like it's not just like really hateful shit, it's a lot of like actual violent stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of these one of those QAnon guys like that got banned from Twitter, one of the big ones like Lynn Wood or something like that, I think
Yeah.
he was like a big Trump like associate, was saying like they should execute the like vice president and stuff. Like
Jeez.
it's like real violent shit. But now Amazon Web Services have even said that they're gonna cut off their like service with them. So the app just won't exist. Like you won't be able to even use it if you have it downloaded.
Jeez.
So I mean, I get people are like, oh, but what about freedom of speech and all this? Like it's a private service, and it's this is a good thing. Like this is a good thing.
Yeah.
And people saying like, oh, they could use it against you on the left too. I mean, they already do.
Yeah.
Like there's so many
Absolutely.
leftist accounts that get banned for like saying stuff on Twitter and stuff like that. They ban a lot more frequently and a lot easier than they do when they ban like right wing accounts.
Yeah.
So
But I just think it's sort of like people willfully just not seeing the difference between what is sort of a harmful thing to say and what isn't. So it's like, oh, if they're calling for people to be killed, like I think that's a bit different than simply, oh, it's just freedom of speech. Like,
yeah, like I think people don't understand what freedom of speech is.
and then what happened with
Really.
the them storming the Capitol was like sort of that's the end point of this sort of rhetoric. Like it's now clear as day. Like, how can you not make that
Yeah,
association?
well, this is the thing is that it's very like we all knew this. Everybody knew this.
Yeah.
Everybody knew this. Like in the build up, that this was like this was the inevitable sort of like tipping point of it. Right, everyone knew that something like this would happen. But and this is why I was saying like it's silly. People are like, oh, thanks for doing something about it. Like they're doing something about it after it's happened.
Yeah,
Like,
in my
which is
opinion, I've said it a couple of times. Like he should have been banned around the point he was almost starting wars with fucking North Korea. Like that should have been the whatever. And I get that he's the president of an entire country, but at the same time, like he doesn't need Twitter to do his job. Like it's not part of his. It's not his right. It's just a third party service, and they have a responsibility to keep whoever's using that platform safe, no matter who's being dangerous. Like it would be. It's sort of like if someone was coming on and trying to start wars with other countries, but no one could touch them. That's a dictatorship.
yeah. This is the thing where it's like it's also like people say like, oh, how is he meant to contact people? Like, well, what did he do before Twitter?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
He's
not
got
like
enough
he's
money,
been.
he can just fly to everyone who needs to talk
And
to.
it's the same thing as well when people are like conservatives are being silenced. Like you're on national TV on a daily basis. Like
Yeah.
you have all these different like revenue forms and all this shit. Like it's stupid, dude. And also like I think another thing is that it's shown, obviously, like it's shown a lot of more moderate people, I guess, that this is exactly what it is. This is exactly what they wanted and what they were trying to do. Um, but it's also kind of concerning that it's one of those things that is almost being sort of. I feel like a part of it is being sort of like passed by too easily, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the fact that a bunch of people violently stormed like your most important government building,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it being like, oh, that happened last week, let's move on, let's rebuild. Like
Yeah, like
what?
a couple of
No.
people topple a bunch of statues here and there that aren't really
Yeah, and you get fucking
necessary for the
fumed about it.
function of
When
the
people invade
area.
your government building, you're like, let's heal. No, fuck that. No, prosecute them all. Take them down. Fuck it. Like, and I'm glad to see. I saw like there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of like Democrats that are like trying to that are pressuring like Biden to actually prosecute Trump and his family.
Yeah.
Which 100% they should do. People saying like, no, they shouldn't do that. It's a bad move. No, fuck off. It's this. If you don't do anything about it, this sets a terrible precedent that people can do this shit and get away with it.
Yep.
Like people can just act like that, and it could just be fine. You know what I mean? Like it's not good. It's not good. Um, but yeah, all those people. This I saw a tweet before. It was like, it's so funny how like they're so anti-mask that they literally invaded like the most secure, well, supposedly most secure building in America with just their bare faces out.
Yep.
Like, yeah, and they're all getting rounded up and like sent down and stuff like that. I personally think that they're so disconnected with reality that they didn't think what they were doing was illegal.
Yep.
I think they are so disconnected at this point that they didn't think that what like they didn't think about what they were doing. They didn't think this is like trespassing on one of our most sort of important buildings. They probably just thought this is just they just all they have in their heads is this whole like Trumpism shit. Just like this is us taking our election back.
Yep.
Like anything else, all the consequences. But fuck them, fuck everybody involved in that thing. Take them
Yep.
all down. Every single one of them.
Absolutely.
Get
But
them down.
who knows? Maybe he'll turn up on TikTok.
He got banned from there too.
Did he?
That's the funniest bit, right? Like, I get stuff like the Twitter ban and stuff because these are platforms that he uses to communicate. But everybody getting on the bandwagon, it's like, come on, dude. Like, no one cares. You're just saying like, yeah, we banned him from our platform too. Like, he doesn't use your platform. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, he's
However,
like, Spotify banned him. What the fuck?
speaking of people,
Go on.
platforms taking a stand, would be remiss to mention that we've lost PogChamp.
We lost. Oh yeah, we have lost PogChamp. But I think Twitch's handling of PogChamp was genius.
Yeah.
I think that Twitch's handling of PogChamp, the whole PogChamp thing, was very very well done. So if you guys don't know, the the face of the Twitch PogChamp emote, which you will have seen, like like oh crazy, wow, cool, that emote. He has fallen far, far down the right wing rabbit hole this year,
Yeah.
which is a shame because I used to watch their videos. I used to watch Cross Counter and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like he used to be a big fighting game guy. It was good shit. It was really, really interesting. But I don't know if it's just from March onwards or if he's been like this for a while.
Yeah.
But he started out with a lot of like anti-mask shit and COVID's not real shit. Then he went into the full like Trumpism shit,
Yeah.
down the sort of stop the steal alleyway. And then after the events of Wednesday, he started saying like the woman that was shot was a MAGA martyr and shit, and like really like pushing this violent diatribe. So Twitch said, you know what, like, because people were asking for it actually as well.
Yeah.
Twitch said, well, we're not using his face anymore, which 100% makes sense. Like, even regardless of any other circumstance, as a big company and brand, you do not want somebody's face like in the background of anything that you're doing, like
Absolutely.
associated with that.
Yeah.
Like it's like imagine if like you had a Twitch emote that was just like Bin Laden or something, and like they had like a big Amazon sponsored event, and there's just like a bunch of Bin Ladens in the chat or something like that.
Fuck.
Like they'd get roasted for it, right? They'd get absolutely roasted for it. So, but what they did is they and in one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen, they said like the spirit of Pog lives on or something like that. Like, but they've not removed the like the prefix for the emote, so it's still PogChamp, but
Yeah.
it's not his face, which I think is the best choice.
Yeah.
Because like Poggers, PogChamp is Twitch culture. Like
Yes.
it's a big part of it, right? It's like a big thing that they have. So for them to like, if they were saying like, oh well, no more Pog, don't say Pog anymore, or whatever,
Yeah.
that would suck. But they've also started taking other people's PogChamp emotes, and they're doing like one every day now, every 24 hours.
Yeah.
They're using someone else's as the global emote.
Mhm.
So good capitalizing on it from them there. Good job, boys. Good job. But yeah, it's very weird how that guy went so like deep down like that. It's super weird.
I don't see how so many people end up doing that because it's always an L. Like you always just fall off when you start going down that rabbit hole, and he got the fucking mid 2000s tour rock mohawk haircut, which is never a good sign for
Oh
anyone.
god, yeah, that picture of him where he just looks like
His
like
life just
absolutely
taken out of
haggard.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I sometimes I get how like lonely kids fall into this rabbit hole
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
because they don't have anything to blame for why they feel sad. And then YouTube algorithm decides to push them some like anti SJW shit who says this is why you're sad. Like that's the whole thing. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Um, they have this thing that's pushed onto them through that. And that yeah, that's kind of like how it happens with them. But I don't get how it happens with like especially like someone like that that's very much like California, media personality kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Like that fucking stupid motherfucker. What's he called? Ariel Pink. He's like down the Trump rabbit hole as well and stuff like that. He's
Yeah.
like an indie musician or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
I don't really understand how these people like, especially in like media and music and stuff, like
Mhm.
fall that deep down. Like, of course, there's going to be like conservatives in
Yeah.
media and music and stuff, but I don't get how they go like full whack job like that. I'm like,
I
I
can
mean,
I can more see it, but like indie musicians and stuff. Like when it came out that Waves was a bunch of, oh, I don't know, I've never listened to Waves. There's a one dude or several dudes, but it's like it turned out to be a landlord and like really into fucking poor people over. It's like because it's that thing where obviously just by nature, like indie music and stuff, it's obviously grassroots. It's going to be mainly like liberals and like left wing people, and so you want to try and differentiate yourself, like, oh, I'm not. Look at me, I'm conservative amongst all these people. I'm even more different than the indie people. You're like, okay, great, thanks. No one cares.
yeah, it's really weird. I don't know if it's like an attention thing
Probably.
or if it's a like going against the grain thing. But this past year has absolutely has absolutely like just shown like people are just showing their bare ass.
Yep.
Like there are just so many, and I think it's probably a good thing, although it is also sad because you see like people that maybe you enjoyed the content of or whatever, like just really showing that they are just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's very,
But
it's very
also, in
weird.
a way, it's just a nice reminder to avoid hero worship.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Like you can be a fan of someone, just don't make them your everything.
Yeah.
Don't never stand, right? Never stand.
Never stand anything.
Unless it's like Elton John. I'd probably stand Elton John. I think Elton John's like beyond the point
I
of
think
doing
that
anything
was
whack.
right. Yeah.
I think he's beyond the point of doing anything whack at this point.
But speaking of standing and putting your flag in a certain hill, one of our questions today on the agenda
Go on.
is what video game class archetype do you gravitate towards, Jim?
So this is somewhat changed over time.
Okay,
Weirdly enough. So I'm rogue, like through and through, and always have been.
disgusting.
Like I love stealth classes.
Yeah,
I love avoiding conflict until it is the perfect time for me to strike and not get hit back.
cool.
I fucking love that so much. I played a rogue in WoW like for the longest time originally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just like yeah, stealthing in. You can't see me, John Cena. I come out of nowhere, bang. You know.
Nice.
But lately I'm gravitating towards like tanks and shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like my getting older, one day becoming a father arc. You
Okay.
know, I'm very like I'm becoming the. I want to protect everyone. I want to keep everyone safe. I
Yeah.
want to look after them. So I've been going like. I mean, I definitely do still vibe a lot with like rogue characters because I think daggers and stealth and shit is cool as fuck. But I've been slowly gravitating to more like big fucking plate armor wearing sword and shield, baby. You know, sword and board.
Yeah, man.
That's my vibe lately, man. I like it. I do think it is maybe like a getting older thing.
Yeah.
I'm not the sprightly rogue I once was, Gary. I'm old
Jesus.
now. I don't have the reactions for that now. I just need to stand there with a shield.
God. Well, personally, I've always been a fan of tanks. I love just getting amongst it, just having
Yeah.
the survivability to just jump in and be useful wherever I can. So it doesn't matter what kind of game it is. If it's like an RPG, so like say Dragon Age, always tank. Even games like when I used to play League of Legends, I prefer characters with loads of HP, top lane boys or jungle all day. Playing Dota, I play support, but always tank supports like Earthshaker, Treant Protector. There's just something satisfying about just being a huge fucking hoss and just not going down easy and like people dreading you coming into a fight and not knowing whether to focus you because you're a big scary intimidating wall of meat, but also it's not tactically advisable to focus a tank in most situations, but you can't ignore all this beef. So sword and shield as well. If but as I've
So
gotten
yeah, sword and shield's such a sick like combo in
yeah,
it. Like
but as I've got all spear and shield, basically shield and any weapon for the situation. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten a bit more into how my attacks look, which is strange. So I don't mind two-handed weapons so much these days. I chose paladin when I came back to WoW recently because there's something very satisfying about throwing hammers around. I love the
I'm God, is what you trying to tell me.
big fan of Thor in the way he attacks. Not so much the character. Don't really never really cared for Thor, but I love the fact he's got like a tiny little hammer. He just fucking swings around and batters people with. I physically and emotionally came watching Avengers Endgame when Big Steve had to go on the hammer because that was just lovely. Shield hammer, love it. But also, I've always had an affinity for DPS classes, but not paper ones. So, like, obviously, as a holdover from being a fan of tanks, I like being able to stay amongst it, but also like slap people about. So, monks, anything with
Yeah,
lots of
I don't know.
attacks.
Well, the thing, like, I think when I was younger, I was like, I say this as if I'm getting old. Like, listen,
You are
we're not
old.
old, all right? We're
He is.
not. We're not. We're not. Okay, like this is the
Can't
thing. I
remember.
feel
Am
like,
I older than you?
how old are you?
I'm 28.
Well, so am I.
Okay, well, what month were you born in?
April.
You're older by 2 months.
Yeah, I'm an older boy. But no, the thing that I was thinking recently about this, like, so I think someone said this to me, is that like, nowadays your 30s are just like your 20s part two.
Yeah,
Like back in the day, maybe, back in the day, it might have been that 30 was old, but
yeah,
for us, it's very much just like because I would never if you took me back and you said to me, what do you think you're going to be like when you're 28, right?
yeah,
I would not have expected to just be the exact same, pretty much, say when I was like 23 or whatever.
yeah.
Like I don't feel mature. I don't feel adult. Do you know what I mean?
My
I just feel
spine
like
feels mature.
yeah, I just feel like I'm just like, yeah, I'm vibing, you know what I mean? Like I'm still having fun with stuff. I'm still lively. I'm not like, I mean, obviously, like you get the aches and pains and stuff, but it's not like I can't
Yeah.
walk or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty chipper about that. But I don't know. I think it's become like I think I've become more of a team player as I've gone along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I feel like I used to be very much like I want to be the fucking I want the spotlight on me, DPS. Like look at me, look how much damage I do.
Yeah.
Like and when I was playing League, I was like playing ADC. Like look at me, I'm taking the whole game on my back.
Yeah.
Which I still don't get me wrong. I love attention. I fucking love attention. But I like to be like I like to get the attention for being like, wow, you really protected me there. Like hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like wow, you saved my life. Thanks. That's why I started playing Dota again actually this week.
Yeah.
Probably a bad idea, but so I play Axe, dude.
Axe is
So I
cool.
play Axe. I'm just like, yo, oh, there's a fight going on. Blink, I'm here. What's up?
Watch me
And people are like,
spin.
oh shit, you saved my life. I'm like, yeah, nothing to it, kid. Like,
Personnel, kid. That's
nothing
what I like about
personal, kid.
Treant, because you can just protect everyone from everywhere as long as you've got your heal
Yeah,
uncoded.
but I hate trees and wood elves and all that shit. I know you love them.
Oh,
You're okay.
yeah, but I don't really like elves because one thing that I rarely play is like casters and magic and stuff and like
Oh,
elf and
elves are all magic, aren't they? Like
which
always.
is why I don't mind wood elves so much, just because they're like, I don't get so much about magic. We just live in the dirt and fire arrows at people. Like I can respect that. Um, but like hoity toity, like look at our big elven towers. We've mastered magic and we live in weird sterile white environments. I'm like, no thanks. Magic is for wieners.
Magic is for weenies.
Yeah.
Weenie magic. Yeah, like I don't know. Magic's kind of cool, but I don't like. I don't know. I don't want to be a spellcaster. I'd rather have a spellcaster with me.
Yeah.
Like I would love having like when I play WoW, I love having like big, deep spellcasters that just fucking throw
Yeah.
magic at shit and kill it quick. But I don't want to be the one that does it. I want to be just stood there, just like
Yeah.
throw it over my head, boys. Like I got my shield up, throw it over my head,
Yeah. Like I
get it over there.
really like one of my favorite classes across anything ever is the astrologian in Final Fantasy. Because it looks so fun to just throw up cards and like heal everyone and do
Bro,
all this.
that little fucking ball thing that they have looks
Yeah.
sick. I
But
love
do
that
I have
shit.
the IQ or the patience to learn it? Absolutely
No,
not. Will
absolutely
I
not.
just
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a
yeah. Same.
meaty monk in the front line rolling my forehead across my combo? Absolutely. I'll protect you. I'll keep
Yeah,
everything.
I just want to be beef. I just
Yeah.
want to like give me a button that I can press that just makes me beefier.
Yeah.
Like just juices me up. HGH button, slam that. Like that's all I need.
Not on the roids, brother, I swear.
What? Who was that recently? Wasn't who was that actor that was playing a role in a superhero film that like had a really fucking
Oh, Kumail Nanjiani.
yeah, like he's definitely on
Yeah, it
some
looked like
juice.
he looked like the fucking Royco cup of soup ad. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's terrifying. The guy's
He
got
looked like fucking handsome Squidward, dude. Like
he did, yeah.
he got like a ripped jawline.
Yeah.
And then like there's loads of people who were saying like or who are apparently knowledgeable about this stuff saying like that's HGH, like that's what it does.
Yeah.
Like that's part of it. And then loads of people say, no, it's all natty. Like he said it's natty. I believe him. Like, why would he do that? Like, I don't think there's any shame in it. Like, I don't think there's any
Yeah.
shame in like juicing. Do you know
Especially
what I mean?
especially
Especially
because
for
he's
like
an
an acting
actor.
role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he was like doing it in like cheating
Like
at sports, I could get
competitions or something.
yeah, I
Yeah,
could get that.
exactly.
But no, he's just doing it for a role. Like how many actors like take shortcuts to lose weight and gain weight when they're doing
Yeah,
like just
I don't think
roles?
there's any shame in like in like juicing in general as
Yeah.
long as they're like careful about it. You know what I mean? Like I really don't think there's any shame in it because he's just trying to get buff for a role. But it's
Yeah.
when they're like, "Nah, I did it all natty." Like, come on, dude.
I
Like,
think I might have actually touched on this in a previous episode, like way back in like the early ones. But I'm of the very controversial opinion is that we should completely embrace steroids, not have this people using steroids mix with the natty boys in their sport. Just say like there's the Premier League, but then there's the fucking Ultra Premier League where everyone's on
oh,
HGH and they're
100%,
running, just
100%.
turning themselves to dust
I
when they're
would
running down the
love to
field.
see. I would love to see like a boxing match between two absolute like roided out specimens.
Yeah,
Like, just do that. Just go all in. Like, I mean, it's to be honest, I think it's probably a natural step for us at one point.
Yeah.
I think stuff like that will become kind of a bit more normal
Well, yeah,
in
it's
the
used
end.
for medical stuff, so I mean, it's fine.
But it's very much like, I mean, like, exactly. I don't give a shit. He's trying to play a role. Like
Yeah.
he's trying to become that character. So if he needs to do that, then like fair enough. But it's when he's like, no, just put the work in, bro. Like it's been a year, mate. Nobody looks like absolutely jacked, especially their jaw in a year. Like
Yeah.
that just doesn't happen, man. Like you can go on the most hardcore diet ever and like work out every day, and it just won't happen.
To be fair, what I do respect about the reveal of how jacked he is now is he didn't do the shirtless gym pic. He didn't do the like, look how jacked I am. He's just
Yeah,
sitting at a table. Look at my fucking Herculean
look at
jaw.
my jaw. Yeah, look at the size of my jaw. Like it's so funny because his jaw really is just like muscled up to fuck. Like, his cheeks have been like curling, dude. He's got like
He looks like fucking a snowplow, like fucking Mr. Plow ass face. Holy
it's
shit.
so funny though. It's just like as soon as I saw that picture, it's like, how do people think that's natural? Like your jaw doesn't
All
get
natty.
ripped. Yeah, like, I mean, if unless you're doing what, just like I just chew a lot of gum every day, like a big wad of it, like every single day.
Maybe
Like,
he's doing dip. He's chewing dip.
I just like I don't know. It's I saw the picture immediately, and I was immediately just like, "There's someone open that." Like the before and after, like his cheeks now have muscles. Like, what
You
happened?
could tell, like, just from the way he was sitting, just the look in his eyes. Obviously, you can't see it because it was a still picture, but if that had been a video, he'd just be vibrating. Like,
Yeah,
there's so much power in my body. Speaking of
I used to go to
films,
university with a guy that sold roids. I remember that.
nice.
I remember I was very naive and I didn't actually know what he meant.
Yeah.
Someone had to tell me when he was offering to sell us milk.
Oh, I need a
He's
pint.
like, "Oh, I do love milk." It's like, why is he selling milk? Why is he trying to sell milk? Like, I can buy milk from Tesco.
Does he have his
Oh
own
god,
farm? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
But speaking of films,
Speaking of milk,
next, to
what's your
be fair, you're
favorite?
going to be trying to sell a completely different brand of milk that you want so far.
Speaking of milk, just quick, what is your favorite milk?
Whole big full
Yeah,
fat boy.
yeah, cow milk.
Yep.
I'm an oat milk guy, just so you know. I'm very trendy. I'm very cool.
Nice. I mean, I don't have anything against the other types of milk. It's just whole milk just for its uses. Like you put like
Oh, same.
you can't really use almond or any sort of nut or soy milk in like mashed potatoes. Just don't
Like same. Although it does make me feel a little bit, morally superior to not drink cow milk. Like just a little bit. I get a little bit of a vibe from that.
yeah,
It's straight up the only reason I drink it is because it tastes great. The only reason I drink it is because it's really tasty.
yeah.
Like I like the taste.
But back to what I was trying to talk about, which is our next question of the day. What is your most hated TV/movie plot trope?
So I had to have a little bit of a think about this.
Look inside yourself. Keep
A
washing
little,
the
yeah.
hands. Just keep
So,
going. Corona. Yeah.
um, I've very much like I was trying to think because I thought of something immediately that I hate, but it's not really a plot trope. It's more just something that happens in a lot of like movies and TV shows and shit.
Tell us more.
Um, and that's when when like something like it's the "you've got to be kidding me" thing. Like I hate that so much. It's like this can't possibly get any worse, and then
Oh,
something worse happens. I hate that. It happens all the time.
yeah.
They're like, "Whoo, I'm finally safe." They turn around. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me! Like, ugh, come on, dude.
Ah,
Like,
jeez.
yeah, like it happens so much.
Yeah.
Plot wise though, like actual like big thick plot stuff. I hate Doctor Who, for example. I hate
Time travel.
plot holes that just like exist for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And like that I don't mind when something has plot holes, right? Like I'm not that like, oh, that's not doesn't make any sense. Like I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that like Doctor Who, for example, I remember one of my friends was really into it. And the whole fucking thing with Doctor Who was right, so he makes a plot hole and then he has this little magic device that just covers it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, just why? Like this is daft. Like give me plot holes like Always Sunny has plot holes,
Yeah.
right? But Always Sunny is great because it just doesn't address any of that shit. It's just that was an episode, whatever. If we bring it up again, maybe we will. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
Like that's it. But this is like it's like, oh, Doctor Who, you've exploded this entire planet. It's okay. I've got a screwdriver. Wibble wobble. Like, oh, okay. Like, fantastic. Great entertainment. Well done. Like, really.
It's okay. I have a screwdriver wibble wobble.
I think that's a direct quote.
Fucking
But
hell.
that's all it does. It's all the time. And like, I mean, I hate BBC shows in general. I think BBC like television is awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
them
it's
are one
fucking
that really hit since like I don't know, like Luther. That was the last one that was really genuine.
like Life on Mars slapped as well.
Watch.
I liked Life on Mars. I liked Ashes to Ashes. I thought they were good, but like Sherlock's the worst. Sherlock is the fucking worst.
Yeah.
Have you seen that clip from Sherlock that was going around recently?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's the
god,
only
what
thing I've
is
ever
that?
seen from Sherlock.
What is that? What like
Seduction. Jane.
who said that this is a good idea? Because I always thought that it was a very like serious drama series with
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch, and then I don't. So for folks listening, there's a clip from Sherlock that was going around the other day where. First of all, he starts it off by saying, "I need to be in my mind cave" or some shit, or like it doesn't. He says like, "I need to be in my mind palace." I think he says,
Yeah.
and like tells people to leave the room. And then there's just this scene of him sat there with words flying around him in all different like silly fonts
Yeah.
where it says like India, like indigo and stuff like that. And it's just his face, like is like one of those scenes in a film where someone's changing personalities or
Yeah.
like something's trying to escape from them and the face is vibrating.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just doing that. And then it's just all these words flying around. Then at some point it's like Indiana, hotel, Paris or something. I'm like, what? Like, what is this? What was that? What was that meant to be? It's just words flying around, and he's like, I've deducted it.
These sound like
Like,
the complaints of someone who doesn't have a mind palace and doesn't have the
I
IQ.
mean, my mind palace is like a fucking underground temple with three guys in robes, like three guys in robes, just like with a cauldron, just like, should we do something today? Yeah, maybe not. Should we
No.
make a sacrifice to the Dark Lord? I can't be asked, to be honest with you, mate. No, one of them turns up late and he's like, "Oh, did you bring the sacrifice?" I forgot. Sorry. Right, that's my mind palace.
No, yeah, I've seen that clip. It's a bit tragic, but I
There's just a big pair of milkies in the middle of the
Jesus.
cauldron.
I don't particularly enjoy anything Benedict Cumberbatch is in. Don't care that he's Doctor Strange.
I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
I think he's shy. I'm sorry, Benedict, if you're listening.
yeah. Sorry, Ben.
But I'm not I don't have anything against him as a person. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It just feels very
just
it just feels very like, why does this guy have this many roles? I
Yeah.
feel like he was just the one British guy that got a break at that point,
Mhm.
so they just made him every British character.
yeah.
Like any character they wanted to have a British accent, they were like, "Yeah, we'll just do him."
Yeah,
And I kind of just
who's English and around?
yeah, like I don't know because he isn't great, is he? He's not.
I
He's
don't
not
know.
that
Like, I haven't seen him in much, but what I have seen, I'm not a fan of. He might have done like something early on that fucking would blow my cock off, and that's what he got popular off the back of. But currently,
well, I thought it was Sherlock. I thought that was the
no, he was
big
around
break,
before then.
but it's just like even in like
Smaug in the Hobbit films, wasn't he?
even in like Marvel movies and that when he's playing Doctor Strange, it doesn't feel serious. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Yeah.
I feel like his acting feels very like silly.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a BBC show, even when he's in a big budget production. Like it feels really like one thing about English like television, like BBC and obviously Channel 5, the worst channel on the planet, stuff is it feels low budget. Like just everything about it feels low
Yeah.
budget, even if it is really high budget.
Yeah, the special effects in Doctor Who are fucking
Oh,
abysmal.
the special effects in any like British show are fucking awful. Are fucking awful.
We need more people to play the lottery so they can afford better special effects.
And it like it's mental. It's mental. There was a show, one of my most hated ones actually. Like, here you go. Most hated television show. Wow. Stop the press. Was a really shit ITV show that I think had Emma Bunton from Spice Girls in.
Okay.
And it was like I can't remember the name. It was like Evolved or something. It was about like dinosaurs and shit.
Okay.
But they had these like I saw. This was not that long ago, but it was a fair few years ago. But
Oh wait, no, I think I know what you're talking about. It wasn't Emma Bunton from the Spice Girls. It was Hannah from S Club 7.
it might have been Hannah from S Club 7. It might have been, and it's just like about dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs are like the most like CG sort of clearly just put in afterwards.
Yeah.
Like things that it's just like, how is this a big budget thing? How are you like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is fantastic. It's like fucking wibbly wobbly, this Mind Palace thing. I hate it. I hate it. It's British television shit.
Why don't you want to jump into his wibbly wobbly mind palace, James?
Because I don't want to know what's going on in there.
You know what really fucks me off about bad special effects in the BBC? Is like when they take the time, it is great. Remember Walking with Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
That looked amazing.
Walking
And
with
then everything
Dinosaurs
else
won
sits. Did they
awards
blow
and
all
shit.
of their budget on it? Or did the guy who was the creative director of that just keel over dead after he finished the last episode?
It's just like I think the thing that's most annoying about it, right? I think the thing that's most annoying about it is that we pay for this. Like the BBC is like funded by the British taxpayer, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, why? Like everything on it's shite, like, especially the news. Like all of it's shit.
Yeah.
Just I mean, the BBC doesn't even have any good game shows anymore.
No.
All the good game shows are on ITV.
Mm-hmm.
Like shout outs to The Chase and the new series Beat the Chaser. Fantastic, great stuff. And what's that one with Warwick Davis? Good show, tenable. Love it. Love it. Warwick Davis, if you're out there, please come on the podcast. I would love to have Warwick Davis on this.
It would be nice, yeah.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Just before we move on, I'm going to tell you mine.
Go on.
My most hated plot device trope is the very easily explainable misunderstanding that never gets explained. It's usually something that happens in sitcoms, but there has been films based around it. But like, say one character will do something and the other character misinterprets their action, or they're planning. Like the most common one is like someone's trying to plan someone a surprise birthday party, but they're also trying to hide it. And then they'll do something to go out of their way to hide it, and it'll offend someone. And then for the whole episode until the end of the big party reveal, they all hate each other. It's like, you could just fucking explain this away in 2 seconds.
This is like every like Nickelodeon teen show had an episode like this back in the day, didn't it? Like, yeah, like where it's like, oh, you know, they say something, it gets misinterpreted, and instead of just saying like, hey, what do you mean by that? It's just like a whole episode of just like, they hate me, they're trying to kill me, they want
and
me.
it's always people who either live together or in the same space. Like, thousands of like rom-com films get away with it because in that context it works. Like, because they're getting to know each other, they don't fully know each other properly. Like, one character will see like another character talking to someone who's attractive and assume, oh, they're cheating on me, and like run away, then it turns out it's their sister or something. But because there is room to do that, because they don't go home to the same house, they don't know each other's lives that much. But these are like family sitcoms where everyone knows each other and they know each other's tells. So like, why don't you just fucking explain what's going on instead of having this entire
There's just no communication at all.
Yeah.
Like, Drake and Josh talk to each other, lads.
Yeah.
Your brothers, have a chat.
I
Sit
hate
down,
them
have
so
a
much.
talk. I used to love Drake and Josh back in the
Yeah.
day.
But like
I just actually no, I used to love Josh.
those plots on their own annoy the fuck out of me, but the episodes that really get my goat are when everything escalates because of it. And nobody stops to think like I could get out of this real easy if I just explain what happened in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Bunch of
Oh,
arscones.
bunch of silly bastards.
Anyway,
Anyway,
let's move on
Josh
to our.
Peck, sort yourself out.
Isn't
He's very
the
skinny now.
isn't Drake weird these days? Didn't he make
I
a
read
comment
I
online
read
the other week?
something about Drake Bell. I can't remember what it was.
I know he did
Um,
a stint as Peter Parker on a lot of Marvel animated shows and did a fine job, but I can't remember. There
uh,
was some sort of scandal a couple of years ago. He had some really bad opinion. I don't think it was anything weird or nonsense. I just think he had a really bad opinion on something.
I don't know. Drake Bell opinion. I don't know. He changed his name on social media apparently.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. 2015. Drake Bell's transphobic Twitter controversy. There you go.
Okay. Well,
Oh, yeah, that's always it. That's always it
well,
nowadays.
not
It's
my
depressing.
Spider-Man. So our final question of today, to round us off on a nice little lighthearted thing. What's the funniest thing you ever heard that probably isn't true, but you really wish was?
Avril Lavigne
The
being
clone.
like replaced, yeah, by like a clone or something like that. Like clone theories in general are well funny, but the Avril Lavigne one especially
Yeah.
because it was just like why Avril Lavigne of all people,
Yeah.
like why. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if so, I just Google image search Avril Lavigne, right?
Yeah.
The third picture, just for her name search, is Avril Lavigne responds to rumors she died and was replaced by body double named Melissa. It's just like it's such a weird one that got a lot of attention because it's Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Like, why would Avril Lavigne need to be like cloned or replaced or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
she had some hits, but I mean, she was hardly like a big influential figure in the world, was
I
she?
mean, to be honest, the first album, Let Go, was a definitive 10 out of 10. I could understand wanting to preserve her around that point, but I think the whole replacement was after a second album, which didn't really hit that hard.
Yeah, but I don't understand it. Where like it came from somewhere because I remember everyone was talking about it. Like, was it we were at school at the time
Oh,
or
it comes up
college?
every 3 years.
It's just back.
It just
Like,
comes round.
someone's
Like
seen her
baby,
again in
she's coming back.
something. Yeah, someone's seen her again in something and just gone. Hang on,
Wait a
like,
minute. That eye
wait a
looks a little bit lower than it
minute.
did last time.
You're not the same bird that you were before. Anyway,
Another
everything
clone,
went downhill for her past My Happy Ending. Anyway,
yeah, another clone theory that I find baffling is have you heard the Paul McCartney one?
yeah, the Paul McCartney one's like the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, like he apparently died early on in the Beatles and they replaced him. So, but like, say if they could had the power to do that, why didn't they just like downplay John Lennon getting shot and just replace him with a clone?
Yeah, like why didn't they? I don't know
Just
why would
gunshot on the
McCartney
shoulder. He's fine. Everyone, look.
be the one that was cloned?
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I think they probably would have done it. I've just typed in clone theories here as well, by the way, and
yeah,
it's coming up with a lot.
yeah. 'Cause
Apparently, there's a lot, dude.
personally, I'm not like the biggest Beatles fan. I'm also not I'm not one of those people who absolutely hates the Beatles. Although I do find Beatles as shit memes very funny, because they're not great. They're just a band. But I think arguably Paul McCartney's the second most useless Beatle. For me, it goes Harrison. Then I don't like John Lennon. All he's a bell end. Happy he got shot. Great. But like in terms of like usefulness to the band, he's probably second,
Yeah, no,
and then
I'd
Paul,
say
and then
Lennon was
Ringo.
like the driving sort of force in the Beatles.
Yeah,
Like Lennon's probably like the big boy. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But like, obviously Ringo last, but the two surviving ones are like the least like impactful members. McCartney does have some decent tunes, to be fair.
That's that unforgivable Christmas song that I hate. So it can go fuck
Oh, it
himself.
is a terrible song.
And he
We
shared
talked
it
about
a
that already.
birthday with me, and I can't stand it.
But McCartney has like what's it called? Live and Let Die. That's a banger.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses
That's
version was
big
better
shit.
anyway, though. So.
So live and let die. Can that be the ending song for this podcast today?
No, we'll get DMCA'd into the
Or a
moon.
MIDI version of it. I love MIDI versions of songs.
Wasn't the fucking intro song gonna be fucking Tarzan Boy?
Yeah, and then we leave with Live and Let Die.
Oh yes, those two synergetic songs.
Apparently, there's a Britney Spears theory that there are a series of Britney clones.
I think that just comes off the back of that weird early 2000s sentiment that all pop acts were the same, like with Christina, Britney, all that stuff. When edgy new metal fans were like, "Oh, pop artists are the same; they come out of a factory." Like, yeah, so do your new metal bands, pal.
It's so weird. Like the Avril one's the one that's got the most stuff to it. I think the most because what wasn't there a thing how her lyrics started getting darker past a certain point?
Yeah,
They thought she was shorter as well. They think she got shorter, which her best friend Melissa was also shorter, who looked like her.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that one. What about yours? Go on, give me yours.
All right, so I'm gonna have to give a little bit of background on mine, and it's actually I heard about it on another podcast, which was the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast. Shout out to the boys. But somebody wrote in with a story of just because they get stories of people interacting with wrestlers and say, "Oh, I met Mick Foley somewhere, blah blah. We had a good conversation about X and stuff like that." But one of them, it was to do with known babyface and child favorite Rey Mysterio. Now, if you're not familiar with Rey Mysterio, he is a luchador, which means he wrestles in a mask. And if you know about luchadors and masks and stuff, it's very sacred to them. They hardly ever take it off. So they end up looking like superheroes, and that appeals to kids. Now, Rey Mysterio being the good guy that he is, I don't think he's ever been a villain. But he comes out and down his entrance ramp during his entrance, he likes to bring out a spare mask, and if there's a child in the front row, he'll put the mask on the child, and then he'll do this thing where he holds the head, puts his forehead to theirs, and probably says something inspirational like, "Oh, follow your dreams" and shit. Classic babyface stuff, classic John Cena stuff, you can do anything, never give up. But apparently this guy wrote into the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast about a story that he's tried to tell his family, but no one believes him, not even his dad, who was standing right behind him when he was at this WWE show. But apparently Rey Mysterio made his entrance. Now, to add extra context, Rey Mysterio is quite old now. He's been doing this for 30, 40 years. I don't want to super age him, but it's been quite a considerable amount of time. He's been doing it. So you got to think that people would run out of things to say to these kids. So this guy claims that Rey Mysterio came out, put the mask on him, did the thing, and what he said to him was, "Do something with your life, you little bitch." It's just, I want it to be real so bad. Just serial nice guy, because he genuinely is a nice guy. He's not like one of those acts where somebody acts like Hulk Hogan, where he's like, "Oh yeah, kids, do what you want, prayers, vitamins and stuff." Then backstage, he's a horrible leathery racist. Rey Mysterio is a lovely guy, through and through. But just the thought of him coming out, just giving up and going, "Oh fuck, I don't know, do something with your life, you little bitch."
Oh, I would sincerely hope that would be true. That would be so good,
But
dude.
then again, I would absolutely, if I was in his shoes, I would absolutely do shit like that, because no one's ever gonna believe this kid if I do this.
Yeah, I mean, especially maybe he just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Maybe he just had one bad day where he's just yeah, you know what? I'm done. I highly doubt it, but that'd be so good if it did happen. It's like speaking of Dylan and Cole Sprouse from before, a mate showed me a clip the other day where I think one of them has a TV show where he's camping or something like that, or some mates or whatever. And they were chatting about the time he met Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And he said that him and his brother, obviously, with the kids, they were there for an award show because it's Sweet Life, whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my god, it's Keanu Reeves, whatever." And they were like, they approached him at one point, like, Keanu, we're big fans, and he said, "Get in line, kids," or something like that. And he was saying afterwards, he was like, at the time we were like, what kind of a way is that to speak to kids? He said, but now I'm like, that's a cool as hell way to speak to kids. It's like, yeah, cool. What of it? We're big fans. So's everyone else. Get used to it. It's so good. Oh, I love shit like that.
Or like, I think it would be something I would adopt if I ever went into a life of crime. I'd like, say if I was like robbing a shop or something, I'd do all like the regular robbing stuff, like empty the register, give me the money. Then once I had the money, I'd just do something really outlandish, like I don't know, like I don't know, just
You just yeah, like
set up several party
start a
poppers
podcast.
and then just fucking leave. So when the police turn up, it sounds like they're lying. It's like, oh, what happened? I got robbed, and then he let off like 5 million party poppers.
It's just like
Okay,
yeah, like something like that. Someone just really like off character and just really just no one's gonna believe it. Like if I went online and said like without any images or whatever, like Will Smith came to my house and called me a dickhead. Like Will Smith knocked on my door, said you're a knob, and then left. Like nobody's gonna believe that. No, it's Will Smith. Why would he ever do that? Like he'd never do that. He could get away with it. He
exactly.
could absolutely get away with it. He could just turn up to my house. He could piss in my sink and he would get away with it 100%. No one would know. I'd know, but no one would believe me.
Like beat someone up in the street and then just like get right in their face. Go, you're gonna tell the police an octopus did this.
I
And
mean,
and he told me to tell the police an octopus did this, and then the police like, sure, okay.
not to not to make it a bit dark, but I mean, like OJ Simpson is the prime example of
Yeah.
this. And like, when you are rich, you can and powerful, you can get away with anything. So I would rather them get away with like calling someone a little bitch than OJ levels of shit. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is not entertaining.
Very true.
Hey. I'm gonna spend the afternoon looking at Avril Lavigne conspiracy theories
Nice.
and listening to "I'm with You" in the background.
Great song.
Oh, I hope there's a video. I'm gonna look it up. I hope there's a video where there's just like a music video, Avril Lavigne clone music video.
Lots of like theory videos and stuff like that.
Oh, no, there's like theory videos, but I would like a video where it's just pictures of her and the supposed clone, and then just why you gotta go and make things so complicated in the background. That's what I want. That's that's what I'm looking for. Oh no! Guess what's in my recommended for you videos?
I don't know. Let me know.
Enya only time official video.
A little bit of Enya for a Sunday.
Right. It's just like, is YouTube trying to tell me it's just the end of the road?
But as YouTube try to tell me, I know what you refresh your next recommend is Boys to Men, End of the Road. Oh no.
It's just like, okay, like Enya only time recommended for you. It's either YouTube's like, you're a bit sad, aren't you? Or they know something I don't know. Like, end of the line, pal.
Well, speaking of end of the line, it's the end of the podcast. It's time for us to go out there and do something with our lives.
Also, Enya, if you're listening, come on the
cast. Rey Mysterio as well. Give us the inside scoop.
Oh, we could do I say we could do like these people would ever like pick up the line if you ask them.
New opportunities,
Well, imagine doing it like a TV show, like a Graham Norton show or something like that.
Everyone
Just like
at the same time.
today's musical guest over Zoom, Enya. And we just cut her off 2 minutes in because this is too much.
Too much. You're making the production team cry. By production team, I mean me and James.
Thanks, Enya. Well, cheers, Enya. Rey Mysterio comes on. And he's just like, "Wait, so how much am I getting paid for this?" "Now, mate." And just leaves.
We have reason to believe you called a 14-year-old child a little bitch.
Did she do that? Was it you? I think the only people that we would ever get on this would be proper Z-listers. Not even like, I was about to say Ainsley Harriott, but Ainsley Harriott's still on telly nowadays. Dave Benson Phillips. I could probably afford to get Dave Benson Phillips on here.
Yeah.
Just not even to interview him, just have him here and
in the background.
Yeah, just have him here and just go, Dave, what's your opinion on that? As soon as he starts talking, shut up. Shut up, Dave. Get the slime ready. Dave, all we want you to do is say, get your own back every 10 minutes. Yes, I will. Like, yes. Anyway.
I'll keep asking him questions where the answer is get your own back or getting their own back or something. So like, David, he's just sick of his, like, you hear in his voice, he's sick of his life. So, Dave, what do you think Liam Neeson's motive was in the film Taken? He'd be like, getting his own back. Exactly. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. Then we just play the theme song. Just keep dragging this out for like one whole episode. That'd be amazing.
Great shit. Well,
anyway,
what you got planned for this upcoming week, pal?
This week, so I don't know if you know, but I've been streaming more often. I've been streaming like trying to do between 4 and 6 hours nowadays, between Monday and Friday.
Yep.
Sometimes on the weekends if I'm feeling like it, but I've started like taking weekends off because I feel like it's good to get like a rest in. And just do now, you know what I mean? Like this afternoon, I'm doing fuck all, mate. But no, I'll be streaming all week from roughly 6 p.m. till like 10 or later. Don't know what we're playing this week. I got a bunch of games. I played Meat Boy Forever last week.
You mean your mother played Meat Boy Forever?
My mum did play Meat Boy, and she played it for like a minute and didn't get anywhere. She actually no, she got past one jump, which I'm kind of impressed with.
Nice.
You know. She also asked me the next day how I do it. But, yeah, I'm going to be streaming more. I've also got big news YouTube video coming out at the end of the month.
Ooh.
Just like a stream highlights video, which
Right.
I'm getting edited, which should be litty T.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other than that, I'll be working, you know, I'll be vibing. You'll see me around on the internet. At Jimothy TV on Twitter as always, if you want to come and find out when I'm streaming, find out where to find me streaming, all that jazz. See me retweet things like pictures of Solid Snake stealing a cat. Great stuff.
Excellent.
And what about yourself, mate? What are you doing this week?
Doing absolutely nothing. It's going to be a bit quiet for me for a few weeks. I'm just settling in my new job, making sure I've got all my shit together. Not allowed to reveal what games I'm working on yet, so I can't put that in my
No
bio.
reveals.
No reveals. No more reveals. So yeah, it's going to be quiet on the Western Front.
We nearly got through an episode without a single Ringo reference. We nearly got that.
Ringo over a rank of the Beatles.
True.
So
true.
yeah, it's gonna be quiet for me. I plan to finish Ghost of Tsushima, which is pointless of me to say because no one's gonna say it. I'm not streaming it.
Banger of a game.
And then I will be buying Football Manager 2021 and losing half my life to that. So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, have a good week, everyone. I will make sure to spam Dave Benson Phillips with a few messages. I have him on Facebook, I think.
nice.
I think we're mates on Facebook.
Excellent.
We actually are.
Best mate. There you go. Get him on the pod, man. How are you?
Hello, Dave. Do you fancy being on a podcast? Apparently I sent him a message in 2014.
Nice. What does it say?
Dave, my man, hope you good fella. Was just wondering, is there any way I can get an autograph from you? I've been a massive fan since the Get Your Own Back days. Cheers and have a great day, mate. Keep on gunging. God, I was fucking funny even back then.
Read, not replied to.
He hasn't actually read it. It's delivered, but he didn't even bother to open the message.
Went straight to his screen. He was like, "Oh, fuck's sake!"
Well, this was when I was trying to get like a load of Zealous celebrity autographs. I got the the guys from Eggheads. I got their autograph. What else did I get? I got Ainsley Harriot's autograph.
Oh hell yeah!
I told him my dad was sick, and that my dad was called James.
And on that note, goodbye, everybody.
You're back, everyone. See
You
you later.
your lives, you little bitch.